My darlings, my loves, it's time for the energy report for the week of August 26th. So, the important astrology we got for this week is Mercury stations direct in Leo on Wednesday. Venus moves into Libra on Thursday. We've got a Venus trine Pluto on Wednesday through Friday, and then we got Venus opposition Neptune on Tuesday through Thursday. A couple of questions I have for you to reflect on this week, my loves. What themes, messages, lessons, insights, etc. have come up for you during Mercury retrograde that you are now ready to be mended, released, and attended to? Because with Mercury stationing direct, it is going to start slowing down. Okay, it's already started, the descent, if you will. The braking techniques, right? You let the parachute go, and now you're starting to slow down until you come to a stop. Now, again, with Mercury ruling communication, technology, travel, like short-term travel, vehicles, cars, all of that. Be mindful of your person. Be mindful of yourself and how you're in control of your body and in control of your vehicle, in control of your mind, what's coming out of your mouth. But also I want you to pay very close attention to what has come up in the last 3 weeks for you. Mercury is still in Leo, which is a sign of, we could say, pride and exuberance, and just think of the sun, how brightly it shines and how it just shows up in the world, and it just is. Leo can also be the performer, or the primper, just the, oh my God, everything has to be perfect and beautiful. And look at me. There's different sides of Leo, right? So think about your leadership also and how Mercury relates to that and how you communicate as a leader, how you're showing up in your groups as a leader, and just what has come up for you during this last 3 weeks. And then second question we got, are your relationships balanced in the areas of giving and receiving? So with Venus moving into Libra, Libra is all about balance. Venus is moving into Libra, and Libra is a sign of balance. It's literally the scales. So it is about giving and receiving. Is there a space where you are giving too much and not receiving enough? Is there a space where you are receiving more than you are giving and just reaping the benefits without actually pouring back into this relationship? Is there's an energetic exchange with how you're showing up in your friendships, your intimate relationships, all of those spaces. Romantic relationships. Venus is not just about romance, and neither is Libra. But there is a romantic kind of factor that plays into anything where Libra is involved. Romanticizing of life. So romanticizing your friendships. Love on your people. Like during this time. And personally, my Venus is in Libra. So they say that Venus in Libra loves love. It's just joyous and just loves to be in those spaces where things are beautiful aesthetically and energetically. But, take it for what you will. There is a dark side to Libra, and that can show up in overindulgence, for sure. The last question is, how have your relationships supported you through your healing lately? Especially when it comes to communicating openly and vulnerably. I didn't mention that Mercury also trines Chiron at the end of the week, kind of going into next week, but that's why I brought in the especially when it comes to communicating openly and vulnerably. Last week I had a question of, who do you feel safe to be vulnerable with? Who can you trust to hold that space for you? And I had a situation come up for me personally where I had reached out to someone, and then, they were able to hold the space for me that I needed, and I felt safe enough to be vulnerable in that space, which to me is a very, very important part of any type of relationship that you have with anybody, whether it's friendships, whether it is romantic, whether it is soul family, or whether it's even like your blood family, like the people that you are the closest to. It's so important that you feel safe to be your whole self, which allows for another layer of vulnerability that, just kind of makes everything a little deeper, because with that Venus trine Pluto this week, there's also a depth to the relationships that we're uncovering. Like, how can you dive deeper? We're going to add another question. How can you dive deeper into your relationships and get away from the surface? Like, what are some questions that you've been wanting to ask, or what are some things you've been wanting to share about yourself with someone that will essentially deepen your relationship on a different type of level? So You know, we gonna see. All right, let's see what we got for the cards this week. We're using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray this week. So, oh, we forgot to spray this. How could we forget to spray the Florida water? We need to cleanse and clear the energy and let there be a vibe. We need to cleanse and clear the energy and let there be a vibe. Like I sprayed at y'all, somebody skirted down the street in the car, skirt, skirt. Like, well, we gonna clear that shit out real motherfucking quick. So whatever the hell is here is no longer. Let's see what we got. What we got? We're gonna pull three because we got a jumper. We got Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. And on the bottom, Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. So we already talked about the reflecting on, the Mercury retrograde themes and messages and lessons that have come up this week. Now, again, we're unlocking the magic within because as we move forward from this retrograde motion in Leo, which again is ruled by the sun, it is a fire sign. She's literally holding the fire in her hand. Like there's actually, she's holding a copper cauldron, which most likely has a charcoal disc in it, and she's burning incense. So it's very much just that guardian. We have two guardians, first of all. So we've got that unlocking the magic within, but there is going to be time that you're going to need to reflect on how are you using your magic before in this last 3 weeks versus how are you clear on how you're going to be using it moving forward, because you're honoring your inner knowing now, especially talking with the Medicine Mother. We have magic, medicine, mirror. Like the M's, like what? We're gonna probably go look up what M's like that. What is just feeling so savory and so good for you right now? So we do have these M's. I have this bowl that I grew up with, and it's like an old Campbell soup bowl, and it says good. Like, and that's just kind of making me think of like what has been good to you in this last couple of weeks. In this last week, I know last week was rough, y'all. I know last week was a fucking doozy. Like, I had my own moments last week. Like, there were tears. There were so many tears. And it's okay to release and to wash away and to cleanse and clear and to let flow, so that way we can release any blockages that were maybe in the way of us feeling in the first place. Sometimes we need to clear that dam out. We need to clear that river out. And just the way that your magic is going to be moving forward, because you will trust yourself. You trust your inner knowing. You trust your inner intuition. But really just taking that time to reflect on that. Also, stop looking outside of yourself. Again, unlock the magic within. And recognize the power that you have. Because you are now honoring your inner knowing, you are now seeing the power that you have always had in a new light. Like, I've had some strong revelations in the last week, and I expect them to continue into this week. Like, just the way that the energy is flowing and moving, and I'm seeing myself in a new light. I'm looking at my goals in a new light. I'm looking at my intentions in a new light. So, reflecting on how far you have come to get to where you are right now. So, a little story is, I told somebody once, I was like, yeah, like, recently, it's like, like, I used to be shy. And they were like, I don't believe you that you were shy. But darlings, the inner work that I have had to do to step out of my shell has been astronomical. Like, going from being nervous to performing at choir concerts when I'm not the only one on stage, to then having piano recitals and being on stage with sports, and just now to singing in a choir and singing karaoke for fun, but also, like, I used to still get nervous to sing karaoke. Now I'm singing background vocals for some of my friends at their shows. I'm soloing with the choir that I'm in at our, very, very healing concerts, and I wrote a rap for one of our songs that I am actually rapping. So it's like stepping out into the world with the gifts that you've always had within you and realizing just, how far you have come from maybe wanting to throw up. I keep thinking of like the Eminem line of, what's that from? Lose Yourself? Mom spaghetti. Just like, because he threw up. He threw the fuck up. Motherfuckers was nervous. And then still went out on stage and had to work through those nerves. So look at the courage you've had in taking the steps you have already taken to get from where you were to where you are now. And you may not still know exactly where you're going. However, that square from last week with Jupiter Saturn is about where are we going. So have you gained clarity on where you're going? I have. And even some of the messaging and the words to use and the people to talk to in order to get there. Because it does take a village, it takes a team, it takes a community. We are humans and we are born to thrive in community. So find your people, right? Call in your people and see who shows up. Like, there's a family and community for everyone out here. It's just going to take maybe some looking or some opening up and aligning to receive that actual community for it to show up in your life. All right, y'all. I think that's all I got for you today. I love you. Unlock the magic within. Honor your inner knowing. And take your time to reflect. You have always had the strength that you needed within. Take your action based on what you know, what you understand. You over, under, and inner stand. And look at how far you've come and celebrate that. I love you. May you have a blessed and wonderful week. Again, Fire of the Earth, Florida water. We got that. Hit me up if you're looking for something to cleanse and clear the energies in your home space, car, wherever. And if you want a personal reading, holla at me. I do one-on-one readings. I also do personal spiritual life coaching with the Authenticity Alchemy method. So there's just so many things that we're moving through in this life, and my goal is to get you to be moving as authentically as possible, because I had to go through the same thing. I was holding myself back and not sharing my authentic self with the world for real because of fear, imposter syndrome, fear of being seen, lack of confidence, all of these things. So if you know that you have a dream, or even if you don't know what your dream is, but we're trying to get you, you're trying to figure out what that is, you're unhappy in where you are right now, and you know that you're meant for more, let's talk about it. Because there's so much abundance, prosperity, joy, love, peace, blessings, community, soul family out there for you if you're not feeling that right now. I promise you, it's just a couple of alignments away. I love you. May your week be blessed and beautiful. Mwah.